It's about warlord era China, and it was supposed to originally be kind of like diplomacy, but it kind of morphed into its own thing. The two big things I was having problems with is right here with this, which is just a map. It's a map of China. The problem, like circa, a map of China circa around 1920 to about 20 to 30 roughly. Uh, Hence why. But you also have things like Tibet is technically in here because I didn't know what to do with Tibet. Like this isn't like a really good map, and I would need to like find a better map for this to get a better sense of what it is. Let's see what other things really needed to be done. Like the game functions. It would need a lot of work on it. The problem I was having the most issues with Yige Minzu is this, as you can see by the fact that I have not spelled anything correctly. I remember distinctly why nothing is spelled correctly here. In case you're wondering, this was the day my power went out and nothing was registering. So I'm just like right things. Now, it it just wasn't working out because I want the idea of like you can get eliminated pretty early on. However, that's kind of the point, and you would be able to join another person, give them more actions, but they usually would be behind. So inadvertently, you have kind of the struggle between everyone, where nobody is really, how do I word this? Nobody ever wants to really eliminate anyone, and you always want to you want to hurt them a little bit, but you never want to reduce them down to nothing, because if they go down to nothing, your enemy is going to get it. But you also want to make sure that people are you don't want alliances building up. Be like, oh well, here's this really tiny alliance. Little guy has this big alliance with my enemy. I don't want that alliance to go through because they're gonna merge together, and nobody really wants that. But this is gonna be like I need that map. If I can get the map to work properly, I think I can make this game work. But yeah, no, this is the pre development stream where we go over things that need developing. And so roughly speaking, let's see, one, two, three, four, yeah, the five games we have to worry about. The five things that Notepad is currently losing sleep over. We have done Maku Yugi Flowers, which is or more accurately, Toot Hoot Edition, which is a Toho game. We have Wolves. Actually, we won't really have to worry about that. That'd be Redux Project. I cannot actually pronounce that name. I forgot how to pronounce it. Let me see. Castlevania X Papers, Please. And finally, we have Notepad's Naval Adventures, which is I am still completely debating. Yeah, I got taxed. I got taxed in Yige Minzu, but that's kind of the point with it. The point with Yige Minzu is supposed to be like you are petty warlords and you are fighting for fucking nothing. And it's just like you need money. Like people warlords during that era were dirt fucking poor. You gotta remember that. But these are the main three games we're gonna be working on. Yeah, as you see, anime kind of took over, unfortunately, because weebs. And I do firmly blame weebs for it. Curious. Do I have a delay on this? I don't think I have a delay on stream. Yeah, huh, weird. Yeah, I'm just getting a delay there. Well, these are the three main games. Now, for our side games, as you can tell, we have. We zoom in here to 200%, and we make the pen document going. Wolves, Sheep, and Shepherds. If we pull that up, I think I did it. I wanted to take a look at it beforehand to make sure I was spelling everything right. When in doubt, tax evasion. The ultimate superpower. But yeah, this was wolves, sheep, and shepherds. Possibly one of my absolute shit posty title cards, because this was originally supposed to be a porn game. However, I came to the conclusion that writing a porn game was a fool's errand, so I stopped writing a porn game and decided to make it a Christian game. If you can't catch the joke yet. But this one is mostly going to be like just fixing things like this. Because one of the most odd things about this game was, where were you? Oh yeah, character creation was based off race. Like technically you can play a Christian vampire and just become a Christian vampire. You can play a lizard man Catholic and go on adventures. That is entirely an option of at your disposal, and I cannot stop you. And then we have golems. Golems are really fucking weird. Where is it? Where's the one that's really... It's not health. Yeah, I'm not happy with the limb-based health system. I'm not really that pleased with it, but it works for what I'm going for. But where was... Oh, yeah. Combat is entirely based around style. You effectively have to build up your combo gauge to make things go faster, because you're cool. And yeah, is going aerial a complete action for you to just keep going faster? That's what you want to do, and then you do a combo ender. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with this game, and each stuff is very odd. What was the other odd one? Yeah, we have relics to worry about, which were odd. Like, I want to fix up the relics. I want to fix up the relic system. I want to fix up like the blessings to make them a little bit good. I need to fix this up entirely. The miracle system. Miracles were fucked. Yeah, miracles were a pain in the ass to do, because they were pretty much superpowers, but each one was also painful. There were a lot of miracles, and I want to add more of these. I want to clean them up. That's literally what's going to be this project. That's all it's going to be, is me cleaning shit. People are... We can stop Games Workshop from being evil. Like, no, you can't. Games Workshop is literally too big for its own good. Yeah, like, just a lot of these that I just needs fixing. I don't know how to fix it yet, but we don't have to worry about that yet. Yige Minzu, you can go away. Tainted Bloodlines. Tainted Bloodlines is the really weird one. And I adore Tainted Bloodlines. This is one of the games I actually had a lot of fun writing. The problem is, it's fucking terrible. This game's bad. Like, it's not good, kind of bad. This is over a year old, I think, at this point. How old is this game? April. No, it's about a year old at this point. About a year old. I think I did some minor editing because someone pointed out something completely fucking random with it. But like, this was actually the pre D2000 system, and that's literally what all this is going to be. Is going to be me fixing up the D2000 system and adding it to it to make sure it works properly. Because right now it doesn't. And these were really weird. I need to fix these up. Yeah, all the mutations. This game is literally just gonna be me fixing mutations and fixing how, people work to make them play correctly. Because this was a really fucking weird game. Because of where is it? Where's that? Where's that section I need? Ah, yes, this section right here. Colony management. Colony management is quite literally a like pseudo like base builder section that you have to worry about because they're all a bunch of mutant abominations of God, and you need to make sure that you don't die. And this is where things get really complex because it's like, yeah, you have to kind of, hence where the name, tainted bloodlines. You're going to die. You have to pass on your genetic lineage to your children. And yeah, you also, as you can tell, one thing too is this is actually an image because I didn't know some of the tricks I do now. This is what all it's going to be. It's going to be me fixing things up and making things work correctly. Yeah, also incest. Don't eat your family. That's because that's how you level up in tainted bloodlines. You fucking eat people because you need genetic material, and that's how you're going to get it. So this one's going to be a very odd one. I don't think it's going to be very long, but it's just going to be weird. So also for what the people wanted for the weekend project, because again, I can't trust any of you with democracy. You fuckers, you fuckers wanted me to do Das Bunka, which is a PBTA game, because I said I would. Actually, but more accurately, it's going to be a PBT. It's going to be a PBL game, a powered by lesbians game about being Hitler in the bunker. Am I going to be making a game about Hitler in a bunker? Yes, I am. Why? Because I have no sense of right or wrong. People also wanted Flesh Mech Annihilator very badly. Like this one right here, Flesh Mech Annihilator. The people demanded it, and I'm going to do it because that's what you people want. Why? Why do you do this to me? That's my question. Always will be. But let's go here. And I'm gonna move you right over here. And we're gonna make you nice. We'll do this. Now, one thing about Danmaku Yugi Flowers Toot Toot Edition is that's not gonna be the final fucking name because I cannot think of a better name. Fuck this game. Holy shit. Fuck this name. Fuck Toho naming schemes. I do not get how that man Zune comes up with things, even though people keep comparing me to the man. Which I've learned to take as a compliment, even though I'm still not quite sure about it. So, we want to put you right over here. What I should do is this. They may also wondering, like, why do I always, like, put it out in, like, these tiny little boxes? I do this just because I find it a lot easier to kind of get, like, a general gist of it and kind of summarize my thoughts easier. So, one of the big things, actually, one of the big things about Danmaku Yugi Flowers, is that we're going to need to make this game light. So it's going to pretty much be light non-combat, heavy combat sections. That is going to be the core idea there. Now, if we double on that concept, this is also going to be a factor you have to deal with, that the characters are going to have to be both light and they're also going to have to be heavy. And by that I mean there's going to be a lot of mechanics some places and then absolutely fuck all in others. Because it is Danmaku. Because this game, how this game functions, makes things very complicated. So let me see if I can't bring it up. I don't know. Now, for those who... Oh, hello, phone. Those who don't know... What? How do you need... Yeah. Danmaku Yugi Flowers is actually based off of this game. Called Danmaku Yugi Flowers. A very pretty game, as done by a Toho artist, I believe. A Tuhu artist. They did this as an art project. The problem is, they made it as an art project. And it is not great. Not great in the slightest. Give me 1 second. I'm going to yell at people to... currently streaming the pre... going over to Who games. Let's see if I can get the 1 or 2 people to pop in here. Because the problem with this game, the beautiful problem with this game is that it doesn't actually function. And it does not function because it is in fact an art project. Now, picture trying to translate this, and this is what it looks like. It's not easy to read. And like, where was the one thing that was like really difficult to kind of go over? Yeah, it's... Where are you? Ah, yes, the main styles. So, you may be wondering, Notepad, how do I make a character in this Toho game? The answer is you tell me. Because what you have to do is you have to describe your main style and then your sub-style. Your main style dictates what abilities you have, while your sub-style dictates effectively your race, and also gives you some different abilities. Sometimes. So, yeah, as you can tell, there are quite a few of these, and they're bad. Yeah. The thing is, it is an art project because it's shit like this. The guy did this. To a degree. This game came out in like what? Like 2009? 2010? Like, this game's actually fairly old for what it is. But it was literally written and playtested by who's the guy's name? It was written and playtested by a single guy who does all Toho art. He did it because he likes these kind of games and he wanted to do his own, but he didn't really know how to make one. Or the translators made him look like he doesn't know how to make one. But I mean, the artwork in it is gorgeous because, like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. These affect your ability scores. And also gives you an inherent skill. And gives you attack ranges. They don't really talk about any of this. Like, the mutterings mean nothing. Or it's like it's a very nice looking game. The problem is that it's this. And it's very difficult to read. Mostly because... One thing about this is that it's very hard to search through, because since the way they did it was actually very clever, this isn't actually a real page. So what someone did was they scanned it, as you can see by this. Someone scanned the book And after they scanned the book, they just went into like a word processor or something and erased things and then put it back on there and did. This is just a collection of PNGs, effectively, not an actual like written document, which makes things sorting through it very difficult. And there are a lot of these. A lot. And then you get things like this, who are just like, wait, why do you look so different? Who the fuck knows? Who knows? We live in Clown Town. So yeah, we're going to have to break that down right here into the non-combat sections. Now, the main thing is, let's see, character. So, actually, we're going to need an incredibly simple base system, and I have the idea for it. It's effectively going to be using a bastardized flow variant. Now, flow is from the soccer RPG, and it's from a Finnish game company. What is a Toho? You tell me, Ajax. Toho, though, at its core, or Tuhu, or whatever the fuck it's called, is a massive media franchise thing that is primarily just a bullet hell game. Like, it's literally just a bullet hell. But the problem is, there was a lot more than just the bullet hell now. Because the main guy, Zune, said, hey, I really don't care what you do with it. So people are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with it. And then they did. Like, the basic pitch is there is a place called Gensokyo. And in Gensokyo, things happen. And there are yokai and vampires and ancient mythical gods and a shrine maiden and humans who do things. And things happen. And when the things happen, they sure do happen, and then something happens involving Danmaku, which is spell wars. It's literally throwing giant spells at one another to kill one another. That's it. That is, I've explained to you the Toho project. However, every single Toho game is bigger than the last, and there are like a carillion characters, and each of them have different personalities according to different media franchises. It's very odd. But people said, hey, you literally cannot do this. So I said, fuck it. Why not? Well, let's see. So it's going to be diceless for the most diceless with stat checking. So what does this actually mean by diceless with stat checking? Let's see, we want to do Golden Sky Stories. Ask system, question mark. The idea behind stat checking, a diceless stat check game is, hey, you need to climb a wall, and you need strength 2 to do it. Who has strength 2? Everyone raises their hands who has it. If you don't, you're going to need help. It's like, alright, who doesn't have... Okay, who has strength 3? Yeah, that person's got strength 3, that person's got strength 3. Cool, you can pass because those people are helping you out with it. In Golden Sky Stories, it's literally spend magic to make sure you succeed. Or don't. And don't succeed. That's literally it. But Golden Sky Stories is also the game where getting into combat is someone falls over and starts crying. Don't get into combat in Golden Sky Stories, even though I fucking adore that game. Toot Hoot is going to be a little bit different because you're going to be able to solve most of your problems by horrifying magic duels, which is going to be pretty simple. So we probably want... So if we use the like this as like a basic concept, so strength, intelligence, insight, charisma, we could probably use that. So basic attributes. Strength, insight, intelligence, and what was that last one? Charisma. If I were to replace any of these, I would probably end up replacing charisma. Or I would replace it with something different. But we'll call these the tentative attributes. Like this one, we're going to be working on this Friday, so I only want to kind of get the basics done. But I want to get also this note on here as well. Because my goal, my idea for Danmaku at the end of the day, the big catch, you could say, with this game of how I want to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag, actually, so I don't forget it, is we need to click all the right buttons. We want a Notepad document. Now, what I want to be able to occur is I want you to be able to make your own spell card, which is going to be like the spell card is going to be your like main method of attack. You're going to have like a very basic, like, here's a melee attack and here is your basic and a bullet. That's going to be like your most basic shit everyone's going to have access to. That's the point. The catch is, the big haha, is everyone's spell cards are going to be almost literal in the terms of what they are. They're going to be cards that you're going to be able to use, and then you're going to have to do stuff with them. You're going to be able to discard them and draw them again over and over and over again. And this is partially based off one of the fighting games, actually, which kind of like, okay, this is what it is. But it's going to be something like, here's what I can do. Like a spell card, for example, might look something like, something like this. And then actually we need to go down, we need to tab, actually tab, space 0. So this would be us. This is the player, and this is where the bullet is shooting out of. All of these will act as a bullet. If a target is anywhere near these bullets or gets hit by them, they take damage. That's it. Because, fun fact, Danmaku wasn't fucking around. Danmaku was far from fucking around. You had to use the flower chart. And if you didn't use the flower chart, you were a bitch. And it's like, are you really even human if you don't use the flower chart? Which is literally a battle sheet for the flower stage in which all the fights occurred. So people would be moving around these spaces, shooting bullets at one another. That's kind of the point of how I want to do this, and I want to keep this pretty concise grid as well, because they use a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They use a 7x7 grid. Actually, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, they use a 7x7 grid. I was potentially thinking about even shortening it to a 6x6, just 36 spaces, and shit's gonna be flying everywhere. But half the game isn't really about just blasting your opponent. It's about kind of positioning yourself so you don't get blasted. And we're going to have to be kind of applying some classic JTRPG bullshit on things with the idea of... yeah, just a... God bless JTRPGs. God, you literally have to get a signature from the GM saying you did it. But I want to get the idea across, like dodging and being able to like shift out of danger. That's important. That's really important. So that's how I kind of have a plan. Now, your spell cards can get pretty ridiculous, and that's kind of like one of the ideas like I want to get across pretty simply, where you can have things such as like we'll just do this for an example. Or you can have things like waves shoot out. You can have skip bullets. You can have like I want every spell card you have in your hand. I want to feel impactful. Now the big thing, what I mean by drawing from the one of the fighting games was, let me see. So battle take place. Actually, 6x6 question mark grid, and from there it'll be. We don't need you. So, spell cards are the main method of attack. But the idea is, cost more of the more cards to use and draw. So, weak cards, your basic standard cards, spell cards, are going to cost 1. You literally just need to play that card and it's done. You've used the ability. Stronger cards are going to be cost like 3, where you have to take the main card and 2 others in your hand and play them to get that effect of that card. You put them all to the side, you put them in your personal little discard, and then you have none. If you want to draw all your cards back, draw up to 5 cards again, you have to spend an action to do that. That's where the game gets a little complicated, because you can be aggressive and just play in this throw bullets at people, burn all your spell cards, but you can also find someone who's going to wait till the perfect moment until you get close and then blast you with a big spell or something. I don't want people to have many spells, but I want them to have very impactful ones. And as you can kind of grow and power, you get more spells, you can do more things. But that's just that. It's spells in that thing. That particular. That's kind of the core idea. And this was, I can't remember, it was Shoko, I believe, is the. Yeah, Shoko, right? Yeah, the Bullet Hell JRPG? JTRPG? Yeah, I know, it does sound really fucking stupid, but someone said I couldn't do it, and my pride got in the way, so I have to do it. It'll be weird, but I think it can work. That's the thing. I think it can work. Like, the main issue with this game is that there's a lot of fucking things in it, and he tried to adapt the games faithfully, and adapt the games and the lore accurately, which is the problem, because the lore in the game is in flux always. So I'm going into this as someone who doesn't really know Toho at all. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to worry about tension. I'm not going to worry about any of this shit. Of course it sounds bad. It's a fucking Toho trying to adapt a goddamn bullet hell game into a fucking TRPG. This is not about being good. This is about saying that I can do it. And if it does work, here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. If it does work, pretty much what I'd be able to do, what it would be, is at its core a JTRPG game. You saw, I believe you were there for the Shinobigami and all those games this last weekend, where you can get a group of people set up in an afternoon, play a game and be done with it. You've played the gimmick, you've had fun, you've ended it, done. That's it. And that's kind of what I'm building with. I don't intend for this to be a campaign game necessarily. I'm intending for this to be a very simple, very easy to learn game. Because that's the point. It's for Toho, for fuck's sake. You are playing a game about girls in floofy dresses blowing the shit out of each other with very large magic spells. You're not doing this for the hardcore lore or anything like that. This is a game for Toho fans. If you don't like Toho, you probably don't want to play this game. But I'm doing it because someone said I couldn't. And they said it was a bad idea, but god damn it, I am the one to always do bad ideas. So let's see. Cost more than draw. Use and draw. Characters. Basic melee attack and a meta bullet attack. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing right now for this. Is I want to make it very simple, very easy, and very Japanese in design. In build. I don't know what that is, and it's worrying me. So yeah, we will worry about that as it comes. So what's next on the list? Ah, yes. Iron Hunter. We'll put you, Iron Hunter, right down here. We'll put you, I didn't mean to do that. Control C, Control V. Put you right there, put you right there, and put you right there. And if I don't like Toho, why am I making a game about it? I'm not saying that I don't like Toho. I'm saying that I don't know Toho. And people said I couldn't. Quite literally, that is the sole reason that I'm doing this. Is because someone said I couldn't. And I want to prove them wrong. Because I am a petty, petty man with no honor. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Just being like, I want to say that I could more than anything. Love the fantasy I'm designing. Jeez. At least people pay big money for Toho stuff. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Japanese girls do adorable things for adorable reasons. Jesus. Shit's big money. Papers, please. So, Iron Hunter, Good Hunter, is a little bit different. I mean, by that I mean a lot different. And because it's going to be primarily based off a game that we all know and love. Where are you? We want to... What is... Oh, yeah. Now, I've gone over this game a few times. But I fucking hate this game. Because it's really stupid and a completely wasted concept. Something happened. I'll look at that later. And it is a completely wasted concept, literally burned on with a bunch of fucking socialists doing it. And not even like the funny socialists, like the unironic variety. And I felt really sad with this. Incredibly sad when I saw this. Because I'm like, this could actually be an interesting idea. But the problem is, they took a gun and they shot themselves in the foot with it. So I'm doing this out of nothing but malice, really. This is a game of malice. And yeah, this one's a little bit odd in a few different ways. Wait, killing machines. Oh. Oh, I'm actually, what is a cryptocracy? I've always wondered what a cryptocracy is. Let's do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of a secret government is a family of conspiracy theories based on the notion that the real and actual political power resides not publicly elected representative, both private individuals who are exercising power behind the scenes. That's not really a cryptocracy, now is it? If it's just the military. Oh no. Yeah, this is my I hate this game because it really doesn't help. Because its pitch is actually interesting, but it just fucks it up. Like, well, mostly because it deals with these. If you want to deal with real fantasies, this is it. So, my idea was a pretty simple game with the overall pitch. The overall simple pitch of Iron Hunter, a good hunter, is pretty much the same. It's Paper Please X Castlevania. However, it's the idea of, the government killed the old hunters out after they took power. But the hunters were also the only ones in the know about hunting down the darkness's agents, otherwise known as vampires, werewolves, zombies, etc. The government now employs the poor and desperate from the communes to fight the enemy. Fight the enemy as they are disposable, and easy to replace. The concept here, what the government was vampires. That was actually one of the jokes I was going to be making throughout the book, throughout this, the writing entirely, is that the government is a vast and monolithic thing that doesn't really have a face and doesn't really have any personality outside being a vast and monolithic super government. However, the joke being that the thing they're opposing, the darkness, is also a vast and unknowable entity that is impossible to put a face to. The joke being that they're literally the same thing, with the double joke being that government agents can't be vampires or can't be anything like that, because vampires have to have a soul to function. The darkness's people need to have a basic soul to function, and the government doesn't have it, and don't have them. Just kind of, it's, the entire thing would be kind of poking fun at, no, not really poking fun, but kind of dealing with the realities of, you are in a place where you are a disposable asset. The government has killed our pretty much the bastion of hope against them because they represented the old guard. Now we're being drafted effectively out of the communes because they don't want the soldiers to figure it out. So, what are you going to do? You are a body to the masses. If you say anything out of turn, you go away. And it's this kind of very grim, very not dark, I would say amusingly Soviet. Where was some like the old Soviet propaganda? I wonder if I can find where was it? It was Soviet. Yeah, Soviet abstractionism. You can get some weird shit in there, but like if what was it? Ironically, Warsaw of all things. Where were you? It would be like, I don't want to word this. Pretty much, if you put a gun to my head and say, like, what do you want the artwork to look like? It would be this almost for everybody. All of the actual, like, people, like, all of the, like, oh, you are the government of government forces and such, would be these eyeless, very, very brutal looking, very simplistic looking, we are very square, very brutalist. On the other hand, the monsters would be very, defined, very like terrifying looking, very gothic in architecture, very extravagant. With that being the joke, the government is sucking away our lives while vampires are literally trying to suck away our lives. We're stuck in the middle. And we're fighting to save ourselves and fighting to make sure that we live to see another day. And that's where things get very hard because you're probably not. And that's one thing I want to get across. The government wasn't the antagonist. The darkness isn't the antagonist because everyone's just doing things in their own interest. It's just two people. It's just a group of people who want one thing and a group of people who want another thing. And they're crashing into each other and they have to kill one another to see who gets it. That's for the grim reality of it. Abstractionism can be really good. I've seen Scrap Princess before, and I adore Scrap Princess. I just, how do I want to word this? Abstractionism is hard to pull off in a like RPG book well because sometimes it looks like really over bright or just difficult to even see. Like I know one game is physically difficult for me to read because of how like bright and colorful it is and like how the artwork looks. Where is it? It's not Eoris. That's its own special thing. It's Overlight. Yeah, Overlight. Yeah, this is Overlight. Now, Overlight is aggressively colorful and very pretty. Don't get me wrong. It's a very pretty book. I just can't look at any of the pages because my eyes glaze over from the artwork. It's like my eyes, they sting. And I know Overlight, like, ugh. I've been meaning to give Overlight a look on the Curious Case, but I really don't know where to put it. That's the issue. Man, I forgot I have this. Talking about artwork, here's the Kill 6 Billion Demons shitty RPG. The Broken Worlds game. This one's bad. Don't play this one. Yeah, the K6 Billion Demons is really bad RPG, even though Abaddon's apparently making a new one. Soon, Pega. Popega. What other artwork do we have? I mean, we have Troika's artwork. Oh no. Can you put it on there? Come on, I believe in you. It's like, no, please, don't make me look at Troika again. Yeah, we won't worry about you anymore. Yeah, oh god, it's crashing. I get it, you don't want to look at Troika, please, no. Yeah, let's anymore. Alright. Oh. So, going back to here. One of the main things with Iron Hunter is our scale. So characters are characters are competent. That's what happened. I dinged my USB. So characters are competent but not good. You are not soldiers. You are not hunters. You are not anything. You are a bunch of fucking people who have been drafted into the military to fight vampires. Poorly. but we also want to do system. System is based. System is based on a communal dice based on a communal dice pool plus 2d6. So I want to make it a fairly basic 2d6 game, but I'm going to be borrowing heavily from borrowing Kamagakari spirit dice system and expanding on it. So the idea there is, for example, bring up my dice here, is let's say we roll our spirit dice ahead of time. Where's my dice? Do I have my dice here? Yes, I do. Let's roll 3d6 right now. And let's roll fucking awful. So let's say we rolled a 1, 2, and a 4. And I did roll a 1, 2, and 4 here. It was bad. And let's say we have a difficulty number of TN, let's say TN 8, something like that. And I roll 2 6s. I'm really cool. What I can do is I've rolled that. I can switch out one of my 6s for the 4. Actually, what I can do, I can switch out a 6 for the 2. And now there's a 6 in the communal pool. This is cool. This is good. People like this. But I still succeed at the check. Now, the problem is when things get a little bit hectic. Let's say later on we have to do a bigger check and with its TN 12. And I only roll a 4 and a 6. I need 2 more. Well, I can't, actually it would be, let's do something a little bit more grim. A 4 and a 3. I only got 7. This isn't going to succeed. What I can do, if I really need to make that check, if I really need to, I can take the 6 from the pool, from the communal pool, and add it to my roll. I rolled a 13. Now I succeeded at the check. I succeeded at my TN 12 check. But I've been forced to remove dice from our communal hope. And that's one of the big things I want to get across, is that as you're fighting, as you're going through, things are going to get harder. And that communal pool is going to quickly become a prisoner's dilemma. Because you want to succeed. Because you selfishly want to take the dice and succeed. You practically don't really want to. You're like, well, that 6 in there would let me succeed at this. But I don't really want to do that. Maybe I can afford to take the 4 and swap something with my and then swap the 6 in. But now there's something like a 2 in there, and you lost a 4. It's like, okay, our communal dice are shit now. I don't want people to get angry at each other. I want people to have that natural tension of, you did great. That's awesome. That's wonderful that you did great. We're down 2 dice, and we are barely in here. We're trapped behind enemy lines. Fuck us, I guess. But hey, ooh, it's fine, right? It's fine. We'll make it. So yeah, we want to have the concept of communal despair. And then we want to do so we want to do the darkness equals direct enemy. The government equal the indirect enemy. And by this it's actually no, we want by this it's the government is always changing the rules and the needs of the team. The darkness is sending terrible monsters who don't care. This section right up here, the government's always changing the rules. I want to put in like kind of almost like a paper please system of like, if Like you can bring this up. So week one, like one day the government may say, okay, everything is legal. There is no contraband. But later on, they're gonna say, okay, religious artifacts are contraband. So legally speaking, you can no longer purchase things like holy water, holy symbols, and generally gear you need to survive against monsters that are repelled by those things, because it's illegal. The government has put a restriction on you and your problems. And you can get those things. You can get holy water and holy symbols. It's just going to cost you a lot more of your very limited funds that the government gives you. And then it's going to be like, well, religious artifacts are contraband now. And, oh yeah, by the way, shortage is going through. Shortage, we're rationing has begun. Rationing has begun. Vouchers are halved in value. Hey, those 30 vouchers you guys had communally between you all? They're all now worth 15 vouchers. That's cool, right? The money you need to survive and buy ammo and buy guns and buy contraband equipment, it's now worth half as much because the government just decided it is. And then I want this list to keep growing and keep getting worse. And you can be like you might encounter the first enemy. You like, oh, here's a simple vampire, a feral vampire. In the beginning, with everything's fine, but at the end, it's like there's a feral fucking vampire, and we can't use anything. We're down half our equipment. We're unable to use what we actually need. People are needing money we don't have, and we effectively have to do this on a shoe. We're doing an eco round, everybody. And that's kind of like one of the big, the ever dealing aspect of it. Something is always going wrong, and you're always losing resources, losing power, losing influence, until there isn't. Until you don't have a choice. Until you are dead in the water and struggling. Or just dead. So, let's see. Where was that? Competent but not good. We want to do some basic attributes. Basic attributes. Dash. Vaguely Soviet theme. I need to look around and see if I can't find some like vaguely Soviet themed things to give the idea. I don't want to do the entire game in like Russian or something. I'm not that. I'm not that evil. But it's just the idea of proper terming and things like that. If I can get the proper terming and I can get the proper ideas down pat, I think it could work. Actually, what I should do is melee damage is consistent. Actually, all damage is based off of the dice rolled. Can break the rules. That's one of the big things too, is that vampires and werewolves don't really care, and they're going to be able to shred you. Because I want that to be scary. I want a single vampire. Okay, hello Picard, please continue the music. I want a single vampire to be scary for the players. I don't want them to be, haha, we've defeated a vampire. No, it's the, oh sweet mother of fuck, there's a vampire. Go God, oh God, oh God, kill it. Especially when you have a Mosin with 5 shots, a hammer, and you might also have a sickle if you're lucky. Lucky. Alright, so what's the next game we gotta really work on? Ah, yes. The Notepad Naval Adventures. This is one of those other games that unfortunately was incredibly fucking weeby and that people wanted. And I find it I found it amusing to look at because guess what? It's also based off a JTRPG that doesn't quite work the way people want. And that's where things get amusing. So if I open, let me just. Yeah, we want to go here. Where is. Where are you? No, it's not you. No, not you either. Modernish? Can't I? Okay. Before I'm going to preface this by saying, officer, I swear she's legal. Officer, I swear to God she's legal. This is one of those other Japanese games that I was immensely fascinated by. Except I know this one is a little bit more jank, but it also works because if you remember from this weekend, the Adventure Planning Service did Shinobigami. Now, Shinobigami, and the system is, if we scroll all the way down past every single boat-fu out there, oh God, I'm going to jail. If we go past every boat-fu, it's this. It's this system. We've already seen how the system works. And the odd thing is, hey, would you liked it so much in Shinobigami? Why doesn't it work here? The problem is that it's a fucking boat game. It's a game about boats and boat girls doing boat things. It don't. There are things in this game that don't work. So I'm going to need to kind of embrace the chaos in a few aspects, because Kantai Collection makes no goddamn sense. And I've been trying to figure out how it makes sense at all, and the answer is don't question it. Look at your wife. Look at the waifus. Look at her. Look at her. She's a true waifu, I think. I mean, I think I've read lore books with her in it, I think. Do I know anything about Kantai Collection lore? I actually had to look up stuff on Kantai Collection lore, and I can roughly assume that there are things that occur. That's really all I can say. There are things that definitely occur in this game. Does it work fully? I don't know. Now, let me see if where is the correct. For some reason, I need to do. No, that's not the right one. Where are you? No, page layout. We want. Nope. Rotate view clockwise. Yes. Now, I do like ideas in this game, actually. That's the weird thing. Because you have, like, the naval base record sheet where you have to go through, like, this is your naval base. This is something that's pertinent to you. Hey, look, there's all these event cards, which, kind of give you an idea of what's going on for the day. What's happening, there's things going on here, there's things going on there, and it's also like, hey, look, it's the positioning chart from Shinobigami, actually, if you haven't noticed that. Or if we go to here and we go to, where are you every goddamn time? Rotate view, we want to go clockwise. Like, there seems like to be a lot of stuff here, and generally speaking, there is a lot of stuff. And I don't think that's why anyone actually plays this game accurately. That's the funniest fucking part about this entire game, is that there is an entire Discord server for this, and people just don't play it. I'm not saying they don't play it right. I'm just saying they just don't play it this method. Because let me see if I can actually find a Steam Workshop Can't-I collection. Because you can actually, this is the best part, you can literally go to Steam Workshop, the Can't-I collection. That is Sid Meier's 6. Is this the... Yeah, okay. Well, this is the correct one. That's also incorrect. Tabletop Sim. Here we go. There's a literal thing here. Like, this is a board game that you can get on Tabletop Simulator, and you can play this game with people. There's an entire community based around this game. But the thing is, but the catch, but the ha, is that nobody plays it by that. There are some guys like, oh yeah, we ran it like D&D. It's like, what do you mean you ran it like D&D? And this is a very, people either don't run it as a tabletop RPG or they just make it strictly a board game. Like, it's always like this very odd mix. I don't think they quite knew what they wanted to do it. And I have a strange feeling that the book was made for money. Someone was paid for money. Like, this wasn't like this is it. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to make a game about Can't-I. No. Money was traded, people were ready, you made it, and you made it. And is it good? Does it work? I've heard mixed. I've heard people who love it, and I've heard people who despise it. Just to give you an example, there is no character creation rules, so I'll let you deal with that. So we want to do the Notepad Naval Adventures. Now, the big thing here, the big core of this, is going to be one little note right here. Decide on a theme. This is a very important note. A very important note. For one very important reason. Can't-I Collection is not the only one in here. Oh, no. Can't-I Collection has roughly had its throne taken away from it. For Azur Lane. Welcome to Azur Lane. Not a MOBA game, is like a mobage gotcha bullshit. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. People love this shit. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I've watched the videos of the anime. There's a flying fucking unicorn in it. There is someone who is just a little girl riding around on a flying unicorn fighting a giant boat. Why are there cat girls? Why are there fox girls? Why does this exist? I don't know. I don't know. Why are there aliens invading? I don't know. This is what you get. Welcome to Azur Lane. And I actually asked people, like, what do people kind of like? What do you want? What do people want? Because there's 3 very distinct camps to go down. Either we can be the God-fearing Can't-I Collection folk. We can be the deviant Azur Lane, Lanekin, or we can just say fuck it and make and I do quote what's the correct term? It's not Mecha Mizume. Would it be Mecha Mizume? The Mecha Mizume gamers. these are all very different for various different reasons. Because Kantai Collection is like far more traditional. Far more traditional. It is a naval game. Like at its core, it is a naval game that just has boat girls in it. It's one of those things where how do I want to word this? I am convinced that Kantai Collection was not actually made for the girls in mind. I think Kantai Collection was made by someone who is a boat autist and was like, guys, I want to make a game about boats. I love boats. And one of his friends was like, mate, nobody will ever fucking play this because nobody is as much of a boat otaku as you. However, why don't we use pinup artwork, the old school pinup art of Japanese boats back in the day, and make it all the boats happen to be girls. Everyone's like, that's a great fucking idea. Now who are they going to fight? Well, because we want to add everybody, they'll fight, I don't know, demons, space monsters, evil space monster demons, and that's how you got Kantai Collection. That is how I believe Kantai Collection came to be. But at the end of the day, it is a naval game. It is not a action game. It is not a hardcore fucking management. It is a fleet game. Like, it is a fleet management game. And like, if we go to Kantai Collection gameplay, just to give you the idea, this is the arcade mode. I've watched videos of this. It is the strangest thing ever. And I still do not understand. Like, it is a boat game. And like, you are playing a naval war game that just happens to be with anime girls. That's it. The game's hardcore too, from what my friend told me. Like, Kantai Collection is hardcore shit. Like, you do not fuck around in that game. You will get your shit rocked. And if you fuck up once, and like, it's over. Like, you're a fuck up and everyone hates you. However, which brings me to the Azur Lane Deviants. Azur Lane is, let me see, at its core, it is a action naval game. What do I mean by that? The game is at its core an action game first. And this is what I have to design with. It would be a game about doing crazy stunts, doing crazy shit. You just happen to be boats. Yeah, am I saying you can do a quadruple backflip through the air and summon a fighter plane to ride on? Yeah, that's a scene in the anime that occurs. Yeah, no, who cares? Yeah, cool, go for it. Whatever. Like, and there's already the implicit background, and you kind of already make your own boats. Like, there's a lot more room to maneuver with Azur Lane. The problem is, let me just put this note up here. Azur Lane is fucking insane. And because Azur Lane is fucking insane, you'd have to accommodate for that insanity. You have to make sure that it makes sense, that the madness has a purpose. You need to figure out why someone can summon a fighter plane to ride on that fighter plane to do a quadruple backflip through the air and shoot someone in the face. Because it's Azur Lane. That does bring me to the final one. Now, this would be the most radical departure. This is the most problematic child of them. And that would be the Mechamazume game, which is pretty much complete deviation. Boat Boats are simply a method of play. The idea here is every character is in fact just a thing. It is a thing girl. It is a mechanical girl. Now, these are games such as Kantai Collection, Azure Lane. Those are all, those are all Mecha Mizume games. But also, what was that one? Yeah. Girls Front Line. Welcome to Mecha Mizume. That is a gun. This is a gun. Do not question it. It just embrace the fact that it is in fact a gun. Let me see. So, Mecha Mizume, like Mecha. Let me see if I can find this like any Mecha. Strike Witches. That would go under here. Like all of these different like if you could like roughly assume it to be an object that is in fact a girl, you can do it. It would be a very broad focused game ultimately, and I would unfortunately have to put it under the here if I'm gonna put this note of here the first of its kind of being a waifu core game. That would be the genre I would call it, a waifu core, not waifu punk. Anyone who came up with the term waifu punk deserves the noose. But no, Notepad. Do not comment on that. You do not need to comment on the fact that someone's trying to use D&D 5th edition to run a fucking World War I game, even though that is the stupidest goddamn thing. Oh, Jesus. But these are... If you can think it, you can do it. And with the waifu core game, it would pretty much be, how do you make a game based entirely around every character happening to be girls and having relationships and having all the problems associated with it? This is going to be the odd one, and it will also... It would effectively have to be a toolbox system almost at that point. Like, it would be, waifu core toolbox. Which I usually don't like doing toolboxes, but that's like just a thing that I might have to do if this method of madness wins out. But this is what needs to occur right now. I need to design on a theme because honestly, they all have merit. And the answer may be, why not do all of them? But I'm not a masochist, and you fuckers voted for one. So you get one. So let me see what else needs to be done. So we've got the preliminary notes for our main three. I guess I can actually do, because I'm here, we will do a big boy on Weekend Warriors. Weekend Warriors. And Weekend Warriors are only... I'm going to get a purple note down here. Based on all three of them. This is literally just a method for me to keep track of them. So, Flesh Mech Annihilator. Flesh Mech Annihilator. Flesh Mech Annihilator. Das Bunker. And I believe it was Space Station D66. So these were the three that were like primarily voted on. Let me see, were there any other ones that really got any traction in that? Sparkle Hearts got a little. I'll put in a little bit of Sparkle Hearts because I feel mercy for it. So we need to look at you. So, main thing with Flesh Mech Annihilator is that we need to make a game where, because the idea behind it is that it's going to be a mech game, but everyone is it's going to be a biomech game at its core. Biomech game with hyper-violence. Because it is supposed to be if we go to the Flesh Punks, I think it's called. Oh, Meat Punks Forever. That's what it's called. Meat Punks Forever Kickstarter. Extreme Meat Punks Forever. How can I forget of... We need to go back. We need to reset this twisted game. Now, this is we're going to be changing, obviously, because this means nothing. Actually, let me see. So these two words mean nothing. These don't actually, only one thing means anything. That's pilot mechs. Flesh Mech Annihilator is supposed to be what I thought this game was originally going to be, otherwise known as Flesh Mech. But don't worry, it's powered by fucking Apocalypse, because everything is powered by the Apocalypse. Now, because we are making Flesh Mech Annihilator, this game is going to be extremely violent, and that's the point. And by that, we're pretty much going to be making this a... it's how do I want to do it? It's going to be a Striker Z prototype more than anything. Striker Z prototype, and I'm going to be playing around with... how do I want to do it? I want to do player storytelling, in which I do remember there was a game, Better Angels, was it? Was it Better Angels? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is Better Angels. Now, I think Better Angels is a really fascinating game because it does something very unique. It 404s. That's what it does. 404s. Let me see if I can actually find it. Like, you can't find this game hardly anywhere anymore. I'll have to hunt it down and see if I can't find it. But what this game was superheroes and supervillains got empowered by angels or demons. Angels found heroic people for heroic reasons and heroically gave them powers. And by heroically give heroic people, it's things like the policeman, who saves a bunch of people, got superpowers. The nice chef who, works at the soup kitchen got superpowers. Normal people who do good things, good people, actually, the best way, good people who do good things for good reasons got these powers. Demons, on the other hand, didn't give a fuck. They gave less of a fuck. Zero fucks. And because they gave zero fucks, they chose anybody. And anybody who got this power was compelled to do evil things. Now, the thing is, demons don't really care what evil thing you did, as long as it was evil. Now, being a normal person, who's a normal person with normal person things, you probably don't want to listen to the demon when he says, burn down the orphanage and kill all the puppies. Don't do that. However, the demon is also completely satisfied with you doing grandiose plans that go nowhere. So the goal was, you do these heavily elaborate plans. You do these dangerous things going on because that was the point. You do like these great plans to try to stop the demon inside you from hurting anybody. You're compelled to do evil. But nobody really cares what kind of evil. So you do try to build a doom laser. Will the doom laser ever work? God, you hope it doesn't, but you're pretty sure you think it can. because that demon is telling you how to do it. But you can delay long enough until the heroes show up and save the day and kick your ass. Because one of the other big things that I want to really play on here, that I actually really enjoyed, and I remember talking with Diamond in the Discord about it. The demon isn't played by the GM. It's played by another player. That other player has a fundamental thing with you, the host. You now have to work together. But that demon wants something. That demon wants you to do evil, and he's going to make you do evil. And that evil is, again, it's indiscriminate. And that's what you were kind of encouraged to do when you were role-playing as the demon. You don't care as long as it's evil. As long as you are hurting, blowing something up, hurting another person, you reward them. Come on, just do it. Come on, be a demon, be evil. You're always wanting to make them succumb to their demonic, to the demon. That's what I'm thinking about doing with Fleshmech Annihilator. Is that you, the player, the pilot, are doing things. Now however, actually what I should say is, what I should do is a pilot parasite. In the parasite, though, you're also working with them. So the parasite is being controlled by another player who has their own ambitions, who also kind of wants to kill you. Like, don't let that ever be not the right thing. They also want to kill you because you're kind of not really working together. You're not allied, but you're not enemies. You're surviving, and if survival means you are a corpse in the ground, that's fine. And I want to emphasize that. I want that players have holds over each other, that players have issues with one another, and you have that natural tension of two characters who are working together, but you have a hold over that guy and his demon and his parasite. But that guy has a hold over the other guy's parasite, and that guy has a hold over your parasite. And you have that kind of the player of like, I don't really trust you, and then you have the parasites being like, I don't really trust you, and I don't really trust my own pilot. That is what I'm going to be trying to go with there. How I want to do that, don't quite know yet, but I have a few ideas. But again, it's going to be a prototype for Striker Z and that kind of storytelling. I don't think it's going to be a very long game, but I want to make sure this works. And this is going to be a prototype for Striker Z, which is a diceless mecha combat game. Will this be diceless? Probably. Actually, probably not. Because, again, this is just a prototype. I need to make sure that it works and experiment a little bit more. I don't know how I want to do it yet. But, hey, we play things fast and loose here. So, Das Bunka. Powered by lesbians game about surviving and thriving in the Feuerbunker. This was entirely thought up as an idea when I was taking a walk because I thought it would be funny, and then I thought, hey, wait a second, that's actually not a terrible idea. The idea is every player takes the role of a officer in the bunker. Officer in the bunker, making deals, striking bargains, and trying to survive. And like the idea would be like, like an example playbook. So example character would be like the great leader, who's the main thing would be struggling with something. The main leader is struggling with madness. He's going bananas. And the only thing everyone knows, you have to keep him okay. Because if his madness ever hits full, he's just going to kill someone to reduce it down. And that's bad. That's what he's struggling with. He's always struggling with his madness, and all his actions are going to raise his madness. He's going to raise it or lower it, or he's going to raise other people's problems, or he's going to lower their problems but increase his own. So that's always kind of the struggle. Like, the great leader always wants to do that. He's also trying to survive, but he also kind of knows that there comes the implicit fate of, at the end of this, if he survives and doesn't escape, he's dead. Like, he's fucked. So maybe you do want to go down in a blaze of glory. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Your call. So, Space Station D66 is going to be purely a comedic game. A la Space Station 13. Take the roll. Now, this is also going to be based a little bit off a game called not Hot in Space, called Jews in Space, which I thought was hilariously racist in its own way. And I was going to make a version called Han in Space, about Chinese people in space. However, then I remembered what it really means to play Space Station 13. And what it really means PlayStation 13 is role-playing as something to 122%. So take the role of an intrepid crew member of the D66, and try to survive your shift. And the entire idea is that I want people to play up the insanity of being in a Space Station 13 game. If you want to play the holy man of the admins and pray to God that he delivers unto you alien mode, fucking do it. It's great, do it. That's fine. I embrace the madness. However, if you say, you know what, I don't want to do that. My characters, let's play it up to 120%. Go nuts. Go insane. Make it completely bonkers. That's how things will work. How I want to do that? No idea yet. We'll work on it. We'll worry about that when we get to it. Sparkle Hearts. I already knew how I want to do Sparkle Hearts. And I'm kind of committed at this point, which is going to be a magical girls got old game. However, I want to kind of expand on that a little bit. It's kind of the idea is that you are veteran magical girl, veteran magical. Actually, we can just do people whose magic is waning, but you're also really experienced. So the idea being, you are veterans, you know how to use your magic really well, you know how to do everything there, but you're also steadily leveling down. You're losing your magic over time. By the end of the campaign, you may not have any of it, but you gotta struggle for it. Every little bit counts. All that little bit of magic you need to do to fight for it. Or I might just say, fuck it, and be just the idea of this little 13-year-old, this fucking 13-year-old girl can blow up a city block if she feels like. Because she has that much magical power. But she has completely deluded herself into the magical girl thing. You've been doing this for 15 fucking years. You are in your early 30s. You are tired. You are bitchy. You don't want to be here anymore. You got these powers, when you were 15 years old, and you've been doing this for a long ass time. Your magic ain't as strong as it used to be because you stopped believing in it. But you still got it. You're damn good. And you got to make sure that next generation gets up. So there's a few different directions Sparkle Hearts can go, and I might inquire with the community on how you guys kind of want to see that develop, because we did add Where is it? Where did you go? No, where are you? Yeah, we did add a straight up magical girl game because I actually realized there aren't actually that many magical girl games out there. So if we go to like Magical Girls TTRPG, the first one that pops up is like Domino Magica, where Domino Magica isn't even out yet, and it was supposed to come out 2 years ago. Now, also, we will be doing a Curious Case one day on Third Act Publishing, probably when we do the Kickstarter weirdness, because these guys are really fucking weird, and there is a lot of money that is gone with them. There's a lot of money that is just disappeared and gone, and it's very strange. But this is like the first thing that pops up where it's like magical girls. Yeah, no, it's not a real thing. Girl by Moonlight. Like, has this game even? I don't think this game has even come out. Yeah, this game's never even come out. Yeah, to be determined. Like, it's been coming out for like 2 years now. It just never has. But like, there aren't actually that many magical girl games. There's things like Magical Burst, and of course you can always go for. Oh jeez, no, like you can always go for like a basic. I can see the word that I'm looking at. It's right there. Come on, Notepad, I believe in you. You can always use a generic system for things like these. Like, oh, I want to use GURPS. I want to use OVA. I want to use this. I want to use. Oh, you can use a super system for any magical girl game, and it'll work. Trust me, it'll work. However, there isn't actually a game for a straight up, full on legit Maguka game. I want to do Maguka. Maguka is suffering. But I also want a pretty clear game. I want these like aggressively happy-go-lucky, let's use the power of friendship to destroy the evil monsters. Because you also get a lot of, let me see, Magical Burst is a big one by Yukari Zero, which I need to look at these guys some more. These are all by Aaron or Ewan or Wewin. Ewan, yeah, it's Ewan or Aaron. This is the guy who translated the. What the fuck? This is the guy who translated the main RPG. He works very closely with a lot of the JRPG discords and stuff. And he made Magical Burst. Magical Burst is a Maguka game at its finest for Maguka things. Magical Fury was also one of those, like, it's a Maguka game about people being angry and being Maguka suffering. I want to do a legit magical girl game, like just a legit power of friendship and all that bullshit game. Can I? I don't know yet, but I'm going to try to see if I can. It's on the list. Still hunting for stuff here. I actually asked around on various Reddits. I'm like, what's your suggestion? And the suggestion I got was, don't make feelings. Oh no, sad. And everyone's like, what? No. I don't care. I do not care about that. Just tell me what the restrictions are. And there isn't really any good list. Like, if you want, like, list, they give you, like, a, like, Chinese media restrictions. If you have Chinese media restrictions, it's things like censorship. He linked me the fucking censorship in China article, and it's like, this isn't what I'm looking for. I want like a hard and fast method of doing things. They didn't give that. So what I was thinking about doing is actually contacting the legit Chinese embassy about things. That's going to be a powerful and annoying method. The SMT game was recommended to me by some of the Eastern Europeans. They said they wanted that, so that's going to be there. Not copyrighted World of Darkness is actually probably going to go the way of the dodo for now. Just because it... One of the people that I know, one of my friends actually, Varric, is doing his own version of this game called Boring Darkness. And I'm like, yeah, know what? Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was planning on doing. So yeah, no, you shine on, and hopefully that should come out soon. TM, a radical game about skateboarding and stuff. People have been talking about that. I don't know why. It just kind of popped up. I'm like, yeah, let's do a radical game about skateboarding or something like that. And sticking it to the man. Fixed projects. I will finally feel comfortable even attempting riffs when I get done with Tainted Bloodlines. Because if Tainted Bloodlines works, I can get a lot of little stuff there. Once I'm good, once I'm there, I can start attempting to do an MD setting with it. I want to do a mega damage setting. To get that mega damage setting to work, though, very different. Very different. Social Justice Warrior Turtles, I have no idea how I want to do this. Like, half of me wants to turn it into, like, a legit just kids game. Just, how do you design a game for a tiny child? And this, like, I don't even write down a tiny child game. And, because the thing is, if you position the game correctly, if you were to pitch to a little munchkin, hey, what's your favorite animal? Dog. What's your favorite superpower? I like cyborgs. All right, cool. You're a cyborg dog who wants to. What do you want to do? Save the day. Okay, you want to save the day. What are you, a superhero? Yeah, I'm a superhero. Cool. You've made a character in that system. That's perfect for a little kid. That's honestly beautiful for that. They're engaged automatically. They know what they want to do. They automatically have an idea, and they are now a dog cyborg superhero who wants to save the day. You automatically have a character. You can give them some stats, and they're off. The amount of time between do thing, and make thing, do thing is very small. And it's like, hey, I'm going to set up a situation for you. Okay, there's a crime going on downtown. You as a super dog, rush to the scene of the crime. What do you do? Like, oh well, I use my cyborg arm and I capture the criminal. Okay, congratulations, I have literally just made the fucking game for you. But the problem is, I want to erase social justice part because that part was stupid. Really fucking stupid. Like asininely dumb. Black shirts and red guards, exactly what it says. I hate Chad Walker still. I want you to remember that, Chad. Fuck you. This will never happen. I can swear. It'll never happen. OG-san Demon Slayer Corporation. This one got like 1 vote. It may work. It may not. I don't know yet. I don't know how I want to do that. Other games that are kind of weird. A Lasers and Feelings hack. I hate Lasers and Feelings. I think that game is super stupid. But I wanted to see if I could make one. This might be more of a... Hello, knocking noise. How are you? You'd probably be my neighbor. Upstairs. Yeah, upstairs. Fuck it. But it would probably be me fixing up, like doing my own thing with Lasers and Feelings as a basic idea, rather than just making a Lasers and Feelings hack, because everyone and their mother has a Lasers and Feelings hack. Time Walkers was a Forged in the Dark game. I need to review Forged in the Dark just to see if I can do it. There's a lot of Forged in the Dark stuff, fun fact. I do have, for the curious cases, I did get a set of them set up. For... Oh, god damn it. Yeah, a set of them set up. Hopefully this actually works. I'm curious. We'll probably do a curious case on that one of these days. Do I also know what the next one's going to be? Absolutely not. We may do Kickstarter Oddness. Maybe a short one this weekend, actually. But, let's see. Steak and Sickle is pretty much what we're doing right now. Since we're actually doing that, let's just get rid of it. Fuck it. The only other one that didn't really make the list, didn't make the cut, is Heartlinks, because I honestly have no idea what to do with this. Because, I don't know. So, Weekend Warriors, abandon all hope. That'll happen eventually, one day, maybe. Into the Badlands, it's there. I did feel really sad that Striker Z didn't go anywhere. And I'm not quite comfortable with Aces yet to make that really work. But we'll bookend it here. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you all had a wonderful rest of your day. Godspeed, good luck. There should hopefully be... There's actually a new video uploaded today. New little opinion on Saga of the Icelanders. I will try to get intertitle. Our Hearts Interlinked, the Kingdom Hearts game review up to... not review, little opinion up today. Probably tomorrow will be my goal on that. And tomorrow I'm going to be working on every single project I can get my hands on. It will be mostly the video, trying to get videos uploaded, trying to get things fixed up. I want to get at least 2 reviews, at least all of the little opinions that I want to move them all up a category. Because for those who don't know, if you're on my server, is that every single thing I do is now on the notice board. And this is the current list. Like, the audio is done for these 2. I just need to put the video together. The script is done for these. And these are what's in the pipeline currently. The goal would be write all the scripts for these ones, do all the audio for these ones, get the videos done for both of these. I'll probably do this one tonight and get it uploaded, and then get the video done tomorrow for this. Ooh. The videos take the longest part of this entire equation, just because I go really hard on them, and I would like to make them look funny at least. And hopefully things go according to plan there. So, thank you, goodbye, and I will catch you on Friday. I am